Hello and welcome to the chat room on CGTN. The chat room is a special online live show which invites people from different backgrounds and sectors to share their thoughts and experiences on a certain topic. And apart from panel discussions, we also take questions from a variety of different social media platforms, including CGTN app, the official website, CGTN official account, on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Sina Weibo. So feel free to leave your comments and questions on those platforms. And well, today, ladies and gentlemen, we know is the opening session for the Boao Forum for Asia, and this year actually also marks the 20th anniversary of that forum. And in the past decades, we not only see great changes taking place in this town, in this forum, but also great achievements and experiences have been going on in the region of Hainan. So today, it is a great opportunity and timing for us to discuss the stories and experiences that are still going on in Hainan. But I have to tell you that what is even greater than the timing and opportunity of the topic is the guest joining us today. Well, according to my limited knowledge, I know only one of them is or can be counted as Hainan native, but all the guests joining us today, no matter where they are from, no matter what kind of background they all have their unique memories and experiences with the island of Hainan. So today they'll be sharing with that with us. And so today, first of all, how about let's have each and every one of them introduce to us about who they are and what they do. Let's start with this beautiful lady. So Liao Zhu, you're like my colleague. You're a host from Hainan TV. So tell us more about yourself.
Sorry, I can't.
Yes, Liao Zhu, we can hear you.
Connection just went down.
Oh, okay. So how about let's turn to another beautiful lady who's the only local here. So Winnie.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, okay. I'm maybe one of the natives here. So I was born in Guangdong province, and my mom and dad brought me here on this island, after I was born, actually, very soon. And I was kind of like witnessed this whole island, from the very beginning to now. So I'm now an online English teacher, and yeah. And I think everyone, each one of us on this island can have a very strong feeling of the rapid economic growth of this island. So I would like to share more with you later.
That's great. We look forward to that. Okay, now see Liao Zhu is back with us. So yes, Liao Zhu, go ahead with the with your introduction.
Sorry, the connection just went down. Hello, I am Liao Zhu, or you can call me Elle, from Hainan Broadcasting Station. I'm a reporter and a host there. And actually, I'm at the Boao Forum for Asia today. My job.
Yeah, so you're covering the event, right?
Yes.
Okay, great.
We as a team.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us and to taking time ahead of your very demanding schedule. And let's go to Han.
Hello, everyone. Hi, I'm a founder and executive director of a local non-government and non-profit organization. We are focusing on sustainable fishery and marine conservation in Hainan. And I'm actually might be a semi-native because my family and I moved to Hainan when Hainan became an independent a province in 1988. So yeah, I actually grew up here.
Okay, so great. So Winnie is like almost purely Hainan native, and you're like 90%, 80%. So that's great.
Yeah, you could say that 80%.
Yeah, that's great. Let's go to Dr. Ahmed. Ahmed, you have to turn on your audio because now it is still muted. Thank you.
Hi, hello everyone. I'm Fayaz Ahmed from Pakistan. I am the only one here who is not from China. So I entered China in 2016. Then my first station was Xi'an, Shaanxi province. And then I moved to Hainan just a couple of months ago. And I am here working in the State Key Laboratory of Marine Resource Utilization in South China Sea. And my work is on microalgae and bacteria, the interaction of these microbes for the protection of environment.
Okay. So Dr. Ahmed, when you talking and when you see me nodding, sometimes I just pretend that I understand what you're talking about. That also the same goes to Hainan, because you guys, you're talking about science, right? Sometimes I just pretend, okay, that might make sense, but okay. But yeah, great.
Okay, I will talk to you in a little later. We will talk in non-scientific terms.
Okay. But no, but go with the scientific term. That makes me look so smart, and I just keep nodding. It's fine. It's interesting.
Yep. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Last but not least, let's go to Godfrey. Hello there. Bonjour, monsieur.
Hello. Bonsoir.
Okay, it's good.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Okay, so my name is Godfrey. I'm sort of French, and I've been living here on the Hainan for about 11 years now. And I'm a marine consultant, and at the same time I stand on a few boards. I'm an expert for the Cruise and Yacht Association of Hainan, and I'm also a mediator for the Hainan Marine Court, as well as I'm a member of the board of the China Chamber of Commerce in Hainan.
Wow, that's amazing. And also you're a recipient of the Friendship Award, right? That's like really great honor. Yeah. Wow, that's good.
Yeah, it is.
Well, let's start from you, Godfrey.
Yes.
Because we know, as you said, you've been in Hainan for 11 years. And I know, actually, before you went to Hainan, you have extensive travel experience. You have been traveling to over 50 countries around the world. And when you first got to Hainan, I heard your impression of Hainan were not so good. But you still stayed there for like 11 years. What happened then?
Well, actually, I got trapped, In
a good way?
I came here to develop the yachting industry, to develop some harbors for yacht marinas. And I must say that when I first came here 11 years ago, Hainan was very different. And it was not very attractive, except for the environment and the climate.
Yeah.
And, the island has changed a lot during the last 10 years, and now I think it's a wonderful place to live. So that's why I'm not moving anywhere.
Wow. So you'll be there, right? And maybe in the next 20 years, you'll be a Hainan local.
Yeah, I'll be there when you celebrate the next 20 years on this show.
Okay, we'll invite you back again and again. I promise that. Well, let's go to Han, the scientist here, right? Because Han, I know actually your father is a very famous writer, and you accidentally share a name with also one of the very famous writers here in China, Han. But you yourself, you didn't go to that path to go to the literature thing. You are very interested in environmental protection and sustainability development, etc. So tell us more about how you fit your major and your interest into the development of Hainan.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the background information about my family. Well, I think I really feel grateful that my parents give me the courage to choose whatever I want to do. I was encouraged to follow my first choice, which is environmental science at my college. So basically, after living 10 years in Hainan Island, around 1997, I went to Nanjing for my university for the college study. And then after that, I went to US. My major question is about how to find a balance between nature and human beings' development. And then another couple of years later, I decided to come back to settle down in Hainan. First of all, at the time, I had 2 young daughters, and I think the best environmental quality in Hainan is the healthy choice for the kids to grow up. And secondly, even though Hainan has the prestigious environment, the environment has undergone a lot of threats by the urbanization and fast industrial development. So I think my career will find the place to make the contribution to this sustainable development exploration in Hainan.
Okay.
And that's why I think, yeah, this is the reason that brought me back here.
Yeah. That's great. No, thank you so much for introducing to us about those backgrounds and, scientific measure in a way that we can all understand. And by the way, you don't look like mother of two daughters at all. You look like you're in high school or at most university. You look so young, to be honest, seriously.
Wow. My elder daughter is already in the middle school, and about 15-year-old. So.
You were like, what, 14 when you had them? Who has the older daughter? You look so young.
Thank you.
So,
thank you.
No, you're most welcome. Let's go to Ahmed. As you said, you moved to Hainan several months or a couple months earlier, and you're originally from Pakistan. Now, for many people who came to China from other countries, usually their first stop, or usually they chose to go to some big cities like Beijing or Shanghai or other major cities, Guangzhou, for studies, for work. But instead, you went to Hainan, and I don't know, are you going to stay there, and what really attracts you there? Ahmed, sorry, you need to turn off your audio again. I'm so sorry for that.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Sorry for that. Yeah, you are saying right. Many people, they want to go to the developed cities like Beijing, Shanghai for their work and studies. Yeah, when I was in Xi'an, I was studying there. And after I finished my PhD over there, I came to know a professor here in Hainan University, and his work is quite interesting to me. And he is very friendly. And my professor back in Xi'an, he is a very nice person. He tell me about the future of this island, what may happen in future. So these things just attracted me to come here to develop my professional career here. So I selected, I love science, so I want to do work. And the most important thing for coming here, the supervisor here, the boss here, he is very friendly, and he assured me he will give me everything here. So now I'm quite satisfied that he is a nice person, and he is giving me all the facilities, and I'm doing my best, and I hope in future I will get some good achievements as well. A couple of achievements I have already obtained here, and I think more I will get in near future. So I want to stay here, because this is a very nice place. People here, they are very friendly, and the most importantly, the environment is very, health friendly. So I want to stay here, and if I want to contribute for the environment protection here in Hainan.
Yeah.
My daughter, I have a daughter here with me.
And she also lives in Hainan now?
They are living with me, my daughter and my wife, yeah.
Oh, great. So maybe your
She's
daughter
5.
and the daughters of Han Han, they can play together, right?
Yeah, sure.
And they can teach each other English and
Why not?
Chinese. Okay, great. This is a great opportunity to make friends through our platform. Okay, that's the deal. Okay,
Yeah.
I saw.
Let's see.
Okay, now let's see. Now Winnie is nodding really hard. So Winnie, I guess with so many foreign friends like Ahmed, like Godfrey, coming to Hainan from around the world, and they are not only visiting there, they're living there. So I guess that make your opportunities especially lucrative, given that you're now giving English classes to people. I don't know, mainly in Hainan to teach them English, right? Is it really the market is getting so much bigger right now, right?
Yeah. You see, I started to learn English at the age of 12, in junior high, and we didn't really have many foreign teachers back then. Personally speaking, I hadn't talked to any foreigners until I went to the university in Tianjin.
Yeah.
But now you can see so many foreign teachers work in the kindergartens, like primary schools, high schools, universities. So I think this is one of the big changes, happen in, on the islands in the field of education, especially English learning. Yes, and we know that the Herald School in Jiangdong New area of Haikou officially started in September last year, and they enrolled students from both the international and Chinese families across the country. So they provide excellent bilingual education. And we also know there's another school in Laocheng, which is not far from downtown area. It's called iSchool. It focuses on cultivating the talents with global perspective. They also focuses on bilingual education. So you can see from these schools that Hainan is well on its way of building like a high educational, system. Especially the international innovative one. This is really a good sign. Yeah.
It is great. Han, is your daughter studying in one of those schools?
No, not really.
Not really. They're studying local schools. But do they need English teacher? If they need English teacher, they can go to Winnie, right? We have everything here. If they need, if they need to buy,
Winnie is the good teacher.
If they need to buy a yacht, they can go to Godfrey. Right.
So I really found this fun.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to Liaozhu, because Liaozhu, I know you've been with Hainan TV for not too long, actually less than a year, but you have extensive reporting experience. The 10th Danzhou International Marathon, the Sanya International Film Festival, and now you're in Boao. So you have really experienced reporting live there. So tell us more about your experience in Hainan. How does it feel to be a reporter, especially in the island that is growing so fast and so rapidly now?
Yeah, I think you just mentioned the island that's growing so fast. That's the reason why, in the first place, I chose to be here as a reporter, because I really want to witness the changes from the beginning. So I get the chance, for example, to report, for example, the marathon or the film festival or the forum, which is beginning today. Whichever those activities or events they are really there's a conception of constructive journalism. So I think that's what I experienced. That's what I felt doing my job. So I am contributing or helping with the development of the free trade port.
Yeah, because now Hainan is not only that, it's not that fishing village, fishing island anymore. Now it has this a global image that, the world needs to have a better understanding about Hainan. So that's why they need talents like you to tell a story that they can understand in an international language. Yeah, that is, I think, really promising. And as we said, we have so many guests staying with us today, sharing their experiences and memories about Hainan. And some of them actually have been in Hainan for quite some time now, for decades, no matter if they're from China or from abroad. So, but, no matter how long you've been staying in Hainan, for Liaozhu, you've been in Hainan for about a year, and you have seen the changes that could take place each and every day. But for Godfrey, you've been in Hainan for 11 years, and I believe the changes must be tremendous. So tell us about some of the changes that really impress you in this past decade, that what really stand out in your recollection.
Are you talking to me?
Yes. Your experience for your business, yes.
All right. Big changes. The first big change is the traffic. The traffic in Sanya 10 years ago was a terrible disaster.
Really?
And the road condition, and the road condition was bad. So everything has been smoothed out. Very good roads now, very good traffic. People are getting much more well-behaved on the road. Okay, that's one big change. The other big change we've seen in Sanya City, I'm not talking about the whole of Hainan Island, because I live in Sanya. You can see from my color, I'm a Sanya boy.
Very tan, yeah.
And what you can see in Sanya is an amazing change in the surroundings. It's very beautiful. The whole city is very beautiful. No matter it's daytime or nighttime, the vegetation is perfectly maintained. The lights around the city are beautiful. and all the old areas of the cities have been modernized, and it's really, really beautiful now. That's the second thing. And the third thing, which is very considerable, is the change in the people. People are much more well-behaved. They're much more wenming, as we say in Chinese, okay? Yeah. Now than 10 years ago. 10 years ago, people were really, kind of rough. And you can see from the education, you can see that the education is changing a lot. It's been improving a lot. And this is changing the local people very much. Now local people are really nice, and they're getting very polite. And that's a very big change in the surrounding.
Well,
of course.
What about the changes in your own industry, which is yachting and marina industry? I believe that about 10 years ago, when you first got to Hainan, I don't know do people can they really afford buying a yacht?
I'm coming to that. I'm going to that.
Yeah, great. I'm sorry for cutting in, but go ahead.
The other change is everything which is shopping-wise. I mean, 10 years ago, you can't find much in Hainan, but now, at least in Sanya, Haikou was a bit better, but now in Sanya, you can find basically everything, and it's a much more pleasant city to live. Regarding my industry, which is yachting industry, yacht and cruise, it's been going from zero, basically, to a point. Now, we reach a point here in Hainan, which is the same kind. There was a rise in the industry since about 10 years ago. That's when it just started. When I came here 10 years ago, there were basically less than 200 boats in Sanya. Yeah. Now there's over 600, almost 700.
Wow,
so
it tripled.
We had a rise. Yeah, we had a rise like this over the years, but now we're reaching a point. It's the point that we reached in the 80s in France, in Europe, where the market is going to explode. So there's a lot of new projects, new marinas under construction, and a lot of changes in the law, which will allow people to use the boats and so on. Because now the market has changed a lot too.
Yeah.
Customers are different. 10 years ago, people who bought a yacht were people who had an entrepreneur who wanted to use the yacht for, hosting guests, basically. And now it's totally different. Now, who buys a boat? It's all the post-80s, Jolly.
Really? People like my age?
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry, I don't have that.
Because now
so
the post-80s, they are 40 years old, and they have money. A lot of them are very successful entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And they know how to have fun, they know how to play. They're not afraid of the water. They are a different generation from the previous generation. And this is a new market. This is a new customer. So this market is going to explode in the future.
Godfrey, do you have a boat by yourself?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Okay, that's surprising, but
I have too many boats for use. I don't need to get one for myself.
Okay, that's even more make me even more jealous. But who the guest joining us? Who has a yacht? No, nobody, right? Liao Zhu, do you have a yacht?
I was joking.
Okay.
Everyone's got a yacht here.
Okay.
No.
That's good to know, but that makes us to have something to work for, right? Like a yacht in the future. I didn't know people in their like my age are buying a boat. That's so nice. Yes. It's surprising, but it's good to know that people are having so many options and they're making a fortune even at a very young age. That's really inspiring. Let's go to Hainan because Hainan, as you said, your family moved to Hainan before 1988. And I know when you were young, at that time, the kids in your school, when they talk about seafood, they're like, oh, we have enough seafood, the shrimp, the crab, and everything. But now when they get older and when they became parents, they're now actually become a little bit worried about the food, the seafood especially. Is it healthy? Is it safe? So what about the changes in here, and what can you do, or what can people in your major do to make a difference to that?
Well, yeah, you're perfectly right. I was about to share a personal experience. That's a conversation between my elementary school classmate and myself when we talking about where to get the good quality seafood for our kids. I remember when we were younger, my classmates come to school and complaining about, oh my God, I'm sick of getting every day's breakfast as the seafood congee or seafood noodles. My mom was forcing me to take that every day. But now when they become parents, it's so difficult for them to find the right fish, which is either undersized, or sometimes they will worry about the polluted seafood.
Yeah.
So this was really vastly changed over a very short period of time. It's less than like 20, 30 years to see the generation diet have flipped, or somehow, unfortunately, there's a lot of diversity of the seafood were gone. And on the other hand, I have heard when I come back to Hainan, worked in a local environmental research institute, we realized that over 70% of the coral reefs around Hainan Island were disappeared.
Oh.
So that's either due to the climate change, or some effluent discharged from the land wiped out the space for coral and the mangroves. And it's devastating. And that's why there's a need for us. We are actually playing the role as a coordinator between the government, the public institute, and the private sector. For example, when the scientists develop some technology for the fishermen to diagnose fish disease or cure the fish disease, they still need someone that understands or speak the same language with the fisherman, fish farmer, to convert that to a more customized local environment. So there's a knowledge gap between that. And this kind of role really requires more interdisciplinary approach. Not just the physical science or the biology science, but you also need to understand the local culture, local social,
even dialect,
dialects, everything. So it really needs a more innovative system to bridge the different sectors, and that's I think it'll drive our team to become a key role in this process. Yes. And it's still a learning process for us as today, very complicated issue. As a consumer, we can contribute from our perspective, and from the government and industry side, there's more work to be done. For example, like the better monitoring of the vessels, and how to convert some of those small-scale fishers, transform their livelihoods from traditional fishing to more sustainable practices. Maybe Godfrey can take some of them, make them to the new business model, like the yachting or the providing the service.
Godfrey, can you do that? Do you see that as a lucrative opportunity for making money for your business? Do you see that?
Well, actually, a few fishermen here around Sanya have already started to reconvert into tourism. And they take people out on fishing trips, still catching fish, but I mean not catching fish in huge amount with nets and stuff like that. You know, they have a saying, when Chinese fishermen use a net, nothing can get through except the sand. You know, they catch everything.
Is that the case? Seriously?
This is really bad. I had some people in my team who were a family of fishermen, and you know, like 20 years ago, a bit more than 20 years ago, they were still catching, can you imagine, whales outside from Yalong Bay. You know, just only like 20 miles off from Yalong Bay, they were catching whales at the time. There is none of these anymore. All this has disappeared. So, but you know, the fishermen rely on big catches. So I think the fishing industry is going to decrease definitely in the future because they can't make it financially viable for big ships to catch fish here. Only little fishermen with small fishing boats are still okay. But for the big ships, they will have to go further and further to catch fish. And so fishermen have to, of course, oriented themselves into a different direction. Maybe tourism, maybe fish farming, maybe fish processing, this kind of thing.
Yeah.
In the end, you know, it's always like that. They can't rely on the local fish population to make a living anymore. That doesn't work.
Yeah, so Hainan, you agree. Wow. So Godfrey, it's not only you're a good businessman, you can also be a good scientist. That's amazing. Yes, Dr. Ahmed, please go ahead.
Yeah, as Ms. Han and the Mr. Godfrey, he is saying that when I came here in Hainan, I was told by the seniors here that a decade ago, when we go outside for walk beside the beach, when we come back home, we had couple of fish in our hands. But nowadays, it's very difficult to find fish nearby the coastal areas. So the fish, yeah, definitely they are maybe running away from the nearby areas. The reason may be the pollution or maybe the climate change. So for future, for future, like Godfrey, he was saying that maybe we need to the fishermen have to move to fish farming. That's a maybe good option in future.
Yeah, that also sounds like an ideal and innovative way for Hainan to get to the a model of sustainability development. I think that's a more ideal model. Well, Winnie, we know you're local, and we have so many friends like Dr. Ahmed who are new to Hainan. We have so many, followers who are joining us from a variety of different media, social platforms who are watching this online. I think they have great interest and curiosity about Hainan, about where to explore, where to visit, and where to have lots of fun. And you're the local, like 90% local in our guest house. So yeah, if you got a chance to recommend some of the things from your hometown, everything like food or, places of interest, what would you recommend to our friend like Dr. Ahmed, or something that even for Godfrey, he's been there for 11 years, but something that he might be interested but never heard of before? Tell us more.
Okay, so I actually want to say something about seafood first, because I actually personally really like to eat seafood. And when I grow up, we actually have seafood like every day on our table.
Wow.
And we really worried about, anything about pollution, So I kind of, when I heard you guys sharing, and I just feel like maybe we just have really strong digestion, system. We didn't really have.
Me too, because I was raised in Qingdao, so we had lots of seafood too. That's a good point. We have a very strong digestion system. Very first time for me to hear that, but interesting. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So actually, this is one thing I want to share because if you want to go and explore Haikou, I will suggest you two places to go to try seafood. One is on the Banqiao Road, and another one is the Million People Seafood Square. And I think the seafood there are quite fresh, personally speaking. And because when people talk about traveling on the island, and they mostly just go to Sanya straight away. So today, actually, spent some time on introducing Haikou here. So, just a few weeks ago, I actually met a group of tourists from the northeast part of China on a bus. And they asked me how to get to the Qilou Old Street, and where, to some extent, is a symbol of Haikou. So that's the first place, actually, I want to recommend, Qilou Old Street. And then I also want to suggest the National Geological Volcano Park. So in that volcano park, if you like, if you're a mountain climber, and then you can go up to the highest point, which is 222.8 meters high. So from there, you can get an excellent view of the city, the whole city. And then the last place would be the Tropical Wildlife Park, and it's home to over 100 species of animals. So if you go there, maybe you'll see some kinds that you haven't seen before. Because there are some rare animals live on the island because the weather here is suitable for them. So and if you're a foodie like me, if
like
I
me
go
as
to
well.
I'll try some local cuisines. So don't miss out on the Hainan University Southgate Night Market. So there you can have the various like kinds of like delicious snacks, across the island. So just come and explore. Oh yeah, you'll have fun.
I have to go. I've never been to this fish market that you just recommend, but next time, for me, if I get a chance to go to Haikou, that's a to-go place. I have to go there. It sounds so good. Dr. Ahmed, do you like the introduction by Winnie? Are you going to one of them? Or all of them?
I actually have an experience. Yeah, no. I have an experience to visit that market. Yeah, when she is right. It's quite, the food over there is quite delicious, really.
Okay.
Yes. I have been here for about 5 years in China.
Oh, for 5
Initially,
years.
when I came here,
yeah,
about 5 years, including, 2016 to today.
Yeah.
And, initially it was very difficult for me to get the taste of Chinese food.
Yeah.
Because it is different from my home country. But now it looks like I'm born here, so everything is fine.
Everything's fine.
So,
how long have you been in Hainan, by the way?
Last year, 2020, August 2020,
Okay, that's
August
good.
2020, yeah.
Yeah, so still
about 8
less
months,
than a year. Yeah. Let's go
Yeah,
to Liaozhu. So Liaozhu, you've been in Hainan for how long now?
Less than half a year.
Less than half a year, and
Quite a
you're
short time.
you're originally from Jiangxi.
Yeah.
And the food there are really good. Like the noodles sometimes are really spicy. So how is the food in Hainan treating you? Are you okay with the seafood? Do you have a strong digestion system, as we said?
I think we all have strong digestion system.
So yeah, let's talk something about more serious, because as our guest just mentioned, the different changes. Some of them are positive, some of them are not really positive. Along with the fast development, there could be solution, there could be some other sacrifices, but still, the overwhelming majority of the developments are positive. The growth, the improvements, and everything. What do you think actually propelled those changes? There are so many different policies, that the free trade zone policy, etc. So, how do you think those policies really help the economy not only to survive but thrive? Tell us more about from your perspective, because I know you were there talking to lots of people and witnessing those changes with your own eyes. So, we really look forward to see your insights.
Well, actually, for me personally, I've reported more like a cultural side of the story of China. But for economic, as in person living in Ireland, I mean, everyone who lives in the island can feel the promotion of free, like tax. So there are more and more tax-free shops and places where you can buy. So actually for this year, they are, so if you go to the tax-free shops and you buy things, the tax-free consumption limit is increased to 100,000 per person per year, which means you can, if you would like to buy, for example, like luxury brands or like cosmetic products, then you can spend that much money on that, and you can save a lot just by the tax-free shops.
But for girls like us, it's really hard to make some deposits, because we just spend the money right away, right? Making so much contribution to the GDP, right?
That's why you have a year to spend. That works out.
Yeah, but so far you're enjoying your work at Hainan, right?
Yeah, I do enjoy, because you just mentioned it's changing so fast, and the system, the political system, and a lot of the policies, they are changing, and they are making it more comprehensive to helping to build this island as a free trade port by 2050.
That's really good. And finally, I really wanted to ask something about something in the future. As we just said, that we have witnessed so many changes and improvements that is taking place in Hainan in the past years. But of course, we look for an even more prosperous future. And with that, we have to make some changes, make some contributions. So first of all, I want to ask our guests about, from your own industry, from media, from fishery, from yachting, from education, what kind of changes do you really look look forward to while you're now in Hainan? What kind of changes do you look forward to, and what kind of role can you play? Or what kind, even though it can be trivial, it can be tiny, but what kind of efforts do you look forward to put to make that change happen? So yeah, I know it's a big topic, but it can also be some of the vision that we can all share. Let's go to Godfrey, who have sold like hundreds of yachts to rich people even at my age, but who hasn't who hasn't owned a boat. But you can just feel free to go any of the boat for that is still anchored in the labor, right, in the harbor. So yes, Godfrey, what kind of changes do you look forward to in Hainan?
Okay, there is a lot of changes already happening now. They made a lot of new laws since last year. Everything is handled basically by the Hainan Yacht and Cruise Association. They gave suggestions to the government, and we have a lot of new laws coming in now. But still, there are a lot of shortcomings at the moment. Because, you know, making new laws for the free trade zone, especially in Hainan, which has a geopolitical situation, a very specific situation, it's very difficult to issue new laws without hampering different departments' work, different government departments' work. So the laws that we have now are not final laws. They will undergo many, many changes, and it's going to be a step-by-step process. They can't make big changes at once.
Yeah,
This is going to be step by step. This is going to be progressive. What we expect is that yachting will be liberalized much more than it is now, because right now in Hainan, if you have a yacht, they already relax the taxes and things like that, but it's not really finalized yet. But what we need to have is we need to have more liberalization of the navigation zones. Because, you know, right now, if you're in Sanya and you want to use a yacht, you can't go very far.
Right.
You can't do like a fishing boat, go out 3 days and come back 3 days later. No, it's impossible at the moment. So it's still very hampering. People want to have fun. You know, the point with yachting is that it's not a fishing boat. It's not a cruise ship. It's not something to make money. Basically, but yachts are a recreational. It's a recreation. It's a leisure. It's a culture. So people want to enjoy yachts. If they don't enjoy, they won't buy a yacht.
Okay.
So there is still, So we're still working on these. We're still working on the law and regulations, and there is a lot of improvements to come later. And we really can't wait, because the market has been stalled for about 3 years, and now it's expanding again thanks to the new regulations, but not enough.
Yeah, not enough, but still the measures and the changes has to be taken, as you said, step by step. And you also said something before that, you know, when you first went to Hainan, the yacht market at the time is very immature, and it's like nurturing a baby, right? It's like nurturing baby step by step, so that it can prosper. And and when you talked just now, because I know in a previous interview, yes, go ahead.
In Hainan, for the yachting business, we are kind of a pilot zone, because we are the most developed yachting industry in China.
Yep.
And we are kind of the pilot zone for China. They're testing in Hainan what can work, what cannot work, what can we do, what we can't do.
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
And then it will spread to other places in China. We are testing ground.
No, it's a pilot program. Yes, Liao.
Yeah, well, I'll just add a quick point that I just picked on from the yachting industry, because we just had a live stream with your colleagues in Sanya for the yachting industry. And we just found out that yachting actually has become more affordable for people.
Oh, really?
So
it is not something that is super luxurious, right?
No, not at all. Like, for example, if you maybe 10 years ago, you need to spend like 10,000 for 3 hours to be on a yacht. And now you just need to maybe spend 200 to 300 to share with 10 other friends, because you know the maximum capacity.
I didn't know that. It's very reasonable.
Godfrey, is that right?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
From my knowledge,
I have some opinion about that.
You have?
The problem is I have some opinion about that. That's talking about the charter business. That means the boat rental. The problem is that now, the problem is that we used to have charter already years ago, and it was kind of high-class charter. It was pretty expensive, as you mentioned. But the problem is a lot of companies join that business, you know, like everywhere in China. If it's some good business, you join in. you jump
That's
in.
Also because the market is getting bigger, so I think it's understandable
Right.
and then they will have
what
the
they
survival of the fittest, and then,
What
Okay.
they're catering to now, they're catering to the mass market, to the mass tourism. And people don't really enjoy, because they go out for 3 hours and about. The charters are 3 hours. They start 9 o'clock, 9 to 12, 12 to 3, 3 to 6. And the quality of the charter is terrible. There is absolutely zero service. It's a disaster, and they are destroying this charter business.
Godfrey, as we said, that the market is, it is still a growing market, so sometimes you need to allow.
Step in and they drive the prices down.
Yep.
And now because they drive the prices down, people cannot offer any service, not for this price.
Yeah, but
maybe they just need more time to complete their service.
We still need time.
We need to let more people, to know the yachting industry, to know that it's actually not that expensive, then they would, have more opportunity to be exposed.
It takes time. So, okay, thank you so much. We got enough discussion about yachting, and now let's turn to fishery. Thank you. So, Han.
Okay, I had an input about the fishery because we were talking about the pollution before. And I must say that now we're trying to curb the pollution. That means there's a lot of new systems which are put in place by the different cities, for example, for drainage and so on, for the control of the garbage, the recycling, and so on. There is a lot of improvement now. The problem is the pollution has happened in the last 15 years when the island was developing like crazy and with no control at all.
Yeah, but we can go to Han. Maybe we can go to Han to see if she agrees with you. So Han, yes.
Yeah, I think things are getting much better, even though maybe we expect them to be even faster. But I think given China is such a complicated society with so many different levels of economic classes, and all these issues really needs time. And I think that's why we need to more alignment with all different sectors and departments, and try to work with the scientists and engineers and policymakers as well as the entrepreneurs to come up with more strategic solution. And this, if it falls into the a common people, like ordinary people as a consumer, I would say, and 20 years later, maybe we will see that Hainan Island will be full of all conscious citizen, or people with more awareness about responsible consumption. For example, when you go to the wet market to buy the seafood, you should choose the not undersized fish, like the tiny little shrimp or baby crab. And you need to encourage the fishermen to choose to harvest a more legal fishing harvest. So that kind of daily behavior, I think it will get improved with all these public campaigns and the consumer education. I think we will see that day coming.
Yeah, we look forward to that. And let's go to Winnie. So what's your goal, or what's your dream to teach more Chinese to speak fluent English just like you, right? So that they can communicate with Dr. Ahmed and Godfrey. But they now speak very good Chinese, actually.
Yeah, actually, as one of the English teachers, I think we share the same vision. I've always hoped that people can view English as a language for communication, rather than a subject for examination. So sometimes it's really sad to see Chinese students. They work so hard at schools, just to try to pass the tests, to get a high score, but they cannot communicate with foreigners in English. I think this situation, really need to be changed. So, and I actually hope the local educational authorities and schools, can organize more activities for the students and to offer them opportunities to improve, to practice their speaking ability and to, raise the public's awareness of speaking English. Don't feel like so shy. And if we want to make this island international, we have to be part of that international. We have to be international citizens. Yeah. So I really hope that one day on this island, everyone, can more or less, speak some English. I think if we can be like that, we can really match that title, of international island. Yeah.
I really agree with you. For an international island, somehow the communication needs to be international as well. The citizens somehow needs to be international as well. Yeah, that's really, really great thought. And let's go to Dr. Ahmed. What's your vision for that?
Yeah, all of my friends here, the senior friends, they are talking about the pollution, and yeah, this is really a big problem. But if there is a problem, there will be a solution.
Yep.
So we can deal with that. Scientists are there to deal with that. They will develop new technologies. They have new ideas. So they can, like if the seashore, it's already polluted with the sewage wastewater or industrial wastewater, like heavy metals, etc. So they can be removed from the already contaminated places, and how we can control them to further contaminate the water. I mean, we can control this pollution to not enter into the environment, in the water. Yeah, like Winnie, she was saying, we have strong digestive systems. Yeah, definitely if there is a pollution, this digestive system, it will get acclimatized to the food habits. So I think to the pollution, that the areas already polluted is there is a very good solution that bioremediation is the best solution for that. And if we use these technologies, we can remove pollutants from the contaminated water, and definitely we can, the major problem is we are putting more polluted water in the ocean from a specific point. We can focus on those points initially. Like if we control the pollution at that spot, first thing is we don't let the polluted water enter into the ocean water. If it is getting entrance to the ocean water, we can control it only at the point source where that polluted water is getting entrance to the ocean. So there are techniques, and further this can be improved, and we can use those technologies to restore the natural climate in the water. And if there is no pollution, then the aquatic life will be back to the normal.
Well, surprisingly,
this is my point of view.
I fully understand what you said. Great. My science has been improved. My understanding of science is thank you, thanks to you and Han. Yeah, as you said, when there's a challenge, there's a solution. Just as the old Chinese saying goes, when there's a will, there's a way. So we really look forward to those improvements. Finally, let's go to my colleague Liao Zhu. So tell us more about the media developments from your perspective.
So I think, because for media, I think our purpose is to help to, convey the image of Hainan, a comprehensive Hainan. And so from a media's perspective, we have changes of ourselves. For example, we have established 2 international communication center in Hainan just in past 2 years, in order to cope with the more demanding for the international communications. And also we have, for example, the Russian news agency branch, which has settled in Hainan last year. So these are all proofs of how the medias in Hainan are trying to pick up the pace with the building of free trade port.
That's great.
So as reporters or as hosts, ourselves, we are like witness we are witnessing the changes in Hainan. For example, from our International Communication Center, we have a series of video showing how those students who studied overseas, they're coming back to Hainan in the past few years to help to build the free trade port. And that series is called New Islander.
Oh.
So we see, New Islander, and we see people like Dr. Fiaz Ahmad, and also people like Hainan, how she is doing with environmental protection, and Winnie in English. These are all the people that we are reaching out to, and we hope that more people can. We hope that their message can get conveyed from us.
Yeah, that's really amazing. And before we wrap up, actually, we have some questions and comments from a variety of different media social platforms, and my colleague picked one of them. And I guess it's maybe the girls who are joining us can have some of the sharing on that. Is a comment from Weibo. It's a user called 帅的不行啦啦啦. I think it's one of the frequent followers for us. And his or her question is, could you share your experience of the duty-free shop in Hainan? So, okay, who could share some of your, I don't know, secrets, right? Tips about what's like the best way to shop in the duty-free shop in Hainan? Who could do that? Just hands up. Oh.
Anyone?
What about you, Liao Zhu? I guess maybe you're the one who spent most of the money in there, I guess.
No, I only asked my colleague once to buy things to help me to buy some cosmetics in airport, not any other brands. So I don't have much experience on that.
Wow. What about other guests? Do you have an experience or something that you could share with us, Winnie?
Okay, so. But I actually didn't buy anything from there. But my friend, she once went there. She told me that at that time, I can't remember, it's like 2 months ago or 3 months ago, they still need the outbound tickets. So you have to leave, you have the ticket to leave the island, then you can buy things from there. But I got a message from another friend today. She said you can just, go to the duty-free stores to buy things without the outbound tickets. So I'm not sure if it's true because I didn't go there myself. So
yeah,
that's something I can share.
It's still very helpful. Yeah. And also, just go there and buy something, and then you will know all the tips, all the experiences, right? Just spend the money in there, and then you will know, right?
Yeah, because right now we still need to have tickets, like flying tickets.
Yeah.
To pick up things from the airport.
Yeah.
So if the islanders want to buy things, we probably just need to wait for a couple more years.
Yeah. But thank you so much. Yes, Ahmed. It looks like you have experience of shopping in those shops. Go ahead. I didn't expect that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let me share. I mean, there's a store, supermarket just out of Payman. I mean, of Hainan Taxfree, Hainan University, and there is an opening of new store, duty-free store. Once I was there, I always shop from that supermarket, and once I was there. And a lady was over there. She said, "We are going to open a duty-free shop here. You can come here and you can buy things from here." So she told me a date that you can come at this date. This is the beginning of this store. So I went there, and I was surprised to see there is nothing. Even the store is locked. So I didn't get experience to buy things from there because the store is yet not inaugurated.
Yeah, that's great. I didn't expect a gentleman to share something shopping experience, but yeah, unexpectedly good, actually. So I think with that, we are going to wrap up today's discussion. And actually, as we said, it's great to see the tremendous changes and improvements that have taken place in Hainan to turn this island of fishing into a paradise island for shopping, for traveling, for business to expand their footprints. And also, it's even greater to hear and to see our guests joining us today to share their experiences and stories, and also to know more about their inputs, their contribution into making this region even better place. I think I feel really, really grateful for that. And so I want to thank you, every and each one of you, for joining us today and sharing with us your insights. And also a big thank you to our followers for joining us on a variety of different media social platforms. Thank you so much for your inputs and for your contribution. And we'll have more to come in the future. Stay with us. And bye for now. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye. Bye. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for your time. It's really amazing. Thank you.